Hi, welcome to FUT-IQ. This is Diego. Just wanted to talk about the EPL, my opinion, and how the end of the season is looking like.
Baby girl running on my...
And honestly, it's looking pretty crazy. Like today, Matchweek 35 ended. City tied 3-3. They're basically bottling the season or the EPL. And then Chelsea 2 gets destroyed by Nottingham Forest, the team that was fighting relegation, and now they're 6 points ahead, and they are in a clear right there. Obviously, there's still games that they have to play, and they have to win those games, especially they're facing against Tottenham or West Ham. Those are the three teams that are in possibilities of going down. And Nottingham Forest right now needs to focus on not losing any games and obviously winning the conference or the Europa League that they're in. And honestly, I would not be surprised if they do. They have the advantage against Aston Villa that lost throughout the weekend against Tottenham. Tottenham that also is surviving at the moment and put West Ham in that relegation zone, where West Ham has a complicated game next week against Arsenal. And Arsenal just might win the league. Get that through your heads, guys. Honestly, that's crazy to me. I can't believe Arsenal's going to win the league. I grew up basically my whole life never seeing Arsenal lift an important trophy other than the FA Cup. But other than that, they haven't lifted a trophy, Champions League, EPL in a very, very long time. So honestly, they're making history. Props to them. Honestly, it's been several years now that they've been this close and they're not able to get it, and now this is the year they got a proper 9. But honestly, they've been lacking on goals, even though yes, he has like 19 goals throughout the whole season, or maybe 20 now with a game on the weekend. But honestly, like, I still think they lack creativity. Obviously, Saka came in and did his thing in the weekend against Fulham, and he might change the game for Arsenal in the Champions League, but that's some Champions League talk right there, and he just might. Honestly, he just might. But in the EPL, like, it's just crazy. Like, they need him for sure. Like, he is their star boy. He demonstrated that at least in the previous game. I'm not gonna lie. I can't sit here and say that he didn't play good or this. He played a really good game. He needs to be consistent and needs to show up in big games like tomorrow and see what happens there. I do see ATM winning, but I mean, Arsenal have that confidence that City just dropped some points and they just beat Fulham 3-0, and they did an astonishing or great job against Fulham, so their confidence is going to be up and high. So a lot of things can happen. But then City too, oh boy, like how do you tie against Everton? How do you get scored 3 goals in 10 minutes? You're City, bro. Like, I wanted those 3 goals for Chelsea today. Like, Chelsea is so ass. We need to get rid of all our players. We need to keep Enzo. We need to keep Palmer. We need to keep Caicedo. We need to keep maybe Levi Colwell, maybe Shalova. But other than that, everybody must go. Garnacho out, bro. Gittins out. Everybody out. Neto out. Go to Barca, bro. Joao Pedro, he needs to stay. He might end up going to Barca. Who knows? I would not be surprised if one of the big players do leave at the end of the season, especially if we don't get any European competition. Hopefully, it's not Cole Palmer. Obviously, it's not Caicedo since he just re-signed a new contract. But it could be Enzo, it could be Joao. Those are the 2 big or important players, in my opinion, that shouldn't go, that they might just leave just because the lack of the ownership and always switching coaches. Just ever since, honestly, Tuchel left, it's never been the same club, and hopefully it gets back to those high standards. And honestly, throughout the season, I'm surprised. I mean, Joao Pedro being the 4th top goal scorer in the EPL speaks volumes. Like, yes, we put in goals, but we don't know how to win games or not concede. We literally ended the drought with like 1,000 and something minutes, and we scored a banger. Joao Pedro scores a banger. Like, it's just crazy. Also, lack of creativity. Cole Palmer is very mid this season, and honestly, he's not the same guy he was a season or 2 ago. Obviously, a lot of injuries and whatnot, so hopefully he picks it up. But I mean, I'm surprised with Man U right now. They are officially qualified for the Champions League, and they destroyed, in my opinion, Liverpool. Yes, They scored 2 goals, but they got lucky. Man U basically gave those away, let's be honest. And one thing we should definitely talk about that kind of isn't mentioned here so much, but I think we definitely need to emphasize this, is the referees or the referees or VAR. VAR is so mid, like it's super inconsistent. Sometimes they call them for you, sometimes they don't. So I don't know, man. There definitely needs to be some type of change or regulation, and kind of need to stick more to the book. Like, yes, I understand the situations and scenarios may change, but maybe deal or like stay more with, or I don't know, stick more with the book. Like, if it's a handball, it's a handball. If it's on a handball, it's on a handball. You know, like all these decisive calls that need to get checked on VAR and takes 5-10 plus minutes. Like, for example, in the PK for Cole Palmer, it took, like, obviously he got injured, the player and all that, but just situations like that where sometimes the VAR doesn't need to take over and it's just a foul and it's direct. Like, just go straight to the what's called, you know. And sometimes I feel like that's what lacks in, not just in the EPL, but most of the leagues. The consistency of the VAR has just not been there, and hopefully we don't see that in the World Cup, and hopefully we just don't see that next season or the next following seasons, because I think the VAR has changed the game, and obviously in a good way, but sometimes not in a very good way. But yeah, guys, honestly, I think that this season, it's basically for Arsenal. Finally, they're going to win a title, an important title. And yeah, they're like 5 points ahead with 1 game ahead. And it's basically Arsenal. They have to lose their games. I doubt they'll lose against West Ham. Yes, West Ham is in the relegation zone and they're going to want to win that match and give it their all. But honestly, at the end of the day, I think Arsenal is going to win the league. Whether they don't win this game, they'll definitely win the league. It's going to be too complicated. And City has a schedule that's a little bit more complicated. And oh boy, like what's really interesting here for me is who gets the Europa League or Conference League, because it's really tight. We have Bournemouth at 6th place with 52 points, and then we have Aston Villa with 58 and Liverpool with 58. So you can even get 2 spots in the Champions League right there. It could either be Bournemouth or Brentford as well. Nothing too secured for Liverpool or Aston Villa. They need to win their games. And then Brighton as well. Brighton is looking really, really good in my opinion. I think out of all those teams, Brentford, Brighton, or Bournemouth, I think Brighton is looking like a really good team. And it might be a hot take, I don't know, but I like how they play or how they've been playing, especially the game I saw against Chelsea. Even though they did get destroyed by Newcastle and throughout the weekend, a Newcastle that has been playing terrible throughout the season, and Chelsea's basically in the same situation that Newcastle is in, but in a deeper way, because they're definitely not going to get any Europa League or Conference League next season. Chelsea can, just because they're in the FA Cup, and mathematically yet they still can. But basically the results have to lead in their favor as well. But for Newcastle, they have to focus on next season, and obviously they'll play, you know, the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, but they get no European competition, so they need to focus on the EPL, and I would not be surprised to seeing them in the top 3 or top 5 if they, you know, move correctly with signing players that they need, and not just players because for whatever situation nowadays they buy them. Like, ask Chelsea why they buy half the players they do. I don't know why. So yeah, so they need to do like basically smart transfer market and not let go players, but that's complicated because you're not playing any European competition. So Tonali, Gordon could go, Bruno Guimaraes could go. I highly doubt he'll go, but you know, like Tonali and Gordon, that really does affect you, in my opinion. So you're looking at 2028 Champions League for Newcastle. So hopefully that happens as well for Chelsea. Oh boy, that's terrible out here. But also, yeah, it's going to be really crazy also talking about from European competition to relegation. Like, we have Nottingham Forest, Tottenham, and West Ham. West Ham at 36 points and Tottenham at 37. 42 points for Nottingham Forest. Like I said, they're 6 points ahead, so they're kind of in the clear right now. But so these next games are really, really important for Tottenham and West Ham. We'll see what happens there. But I do see West Ham going down. I'm not going to lie. I have West Ham going down. So that's what I think. That's how the EPL is looking like, guys. Comment down below. Who do you guys think will win the league? I mean, it's very obvious. I think Arsenal are going to take it. But mathematically, all is still possible. City could still maybe win the league. So comment down below who wins the league or who even gets European competition. It could be Brighton. It could be Brentford. Hell, it could even be Everton. I'm just playing. Nah, definitely not Everton, because if they do, bro, there's no way. But anyways, guys, yeah, comment down below who do you guys think will get relegated as well. I'll read them. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Oh, yeah.
Baby girl running on